Recording is still not on. Okay. So today's topic is Spearman rank coefficient. In the previous session, we did learn about Karl Pearson correlation coefficient, right? So for uh, Karl Pearson correlation coefficient, the formula was covariance between mm, variable x and y divided by standard deviation of x multiplied by standard deviation of y. Okay, that was the formula for your Karl Pearson correlation coefficient. In today's lecture, the topic is Spearman ranks coefficient. So in correlation coefficient or product moment correlation coefficient, it is assumed that both characteristics are measurable, right? Means you can measure and get the uh, magnitude of that variable absolute absolute terms or in numbers, like the marks of the student, etc. But sometimes characteristics are not measurable, but rank may be given to individual according to their qualities, right? So in some cases, like if you are giving rating, or you are giving rating to a product like 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. So those are not absolute measures, because how much is the difference between your satisfaction between 1 star and 2 star, 2 star and 3 star? These are not absolute measures. These are just the ranking, that 2 star is one grade up from the 3 star. Similarly, 3 star is one grade up from the 4 star. But what is the difference between your satisfaction, between the consumer satisfaction between 4 star and 3 star, or 3 star and 2 star, is not is not measured when we are giving them rating 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, right? So in that case, your satisfaction is not measurable. So instead, we are giving rank. So similarly, although we will see examples of students giving an exam, so their performance are although measurable, because we can give them marks that can be in points or whole number. But for the sake of this topic, we will convert them to the ranks, and then we will proceed. Okay, so sometimes characteristics are not measurable, but ranks may be given to individual according to their qualities. In such rank correlation is used to know the association between two characteristics. So in this session, we will discuss the rank correlation and calculation of rank correlation coefficient with its merits and demerits. We will also study the method of concurrent deviation. Okay, so what is the objective of this session, student? So you will learn to know about monotonic functions, limitation of Karl Pearson coefficient of correlation, and learn how to calculate Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. So first of all, let us know about monotonic functions. So what are monotonic functions? So because to understand Spearman's correlation, it is necessary to know what a monotonic function is. A monotonic function is one that either never increases or never decreases as its independent variable increases. What is the independent in this graph? X-axis. The variable that is on the x-axis is your independent variable. Okay, so as we move along the x-axis, as the value of x-axis is increasing, the value of the dependent variable, or the y, is also increasing. The rate of change of increase may be different. Okay, so the slope may be different, but it is always increasing. It is never coming down, right? You can see from the first two graphs that in the first graph it is constantly increasing. The graph is not coming down, or the slope is not becoming negative in the first diagram. In the second diagram, you can see that as we are moving along the x-axis, the graph is constantly coming down. So the slope is always negative. It is never going up. It is negative or zero, but it is never going up. But the third function that you see in this function or in this graph, you can see that for some portion of the x, for the some range of x, your y is initially coming down, so there is a negative slope. But but as we move further on the x-axis, your graph is turning in the opposite direction, or means it is now having a positive slope, right? So this type of graph is non-monotonic because it is having positive as well as negative slope. Okay, so a monotonic function is one that either never increases or never decreases. So if it has a positive slope, it will have positive slope only. The amount of slope will be different, but it will have positive slope. And if it is having a negative slope, then it will have negative slope throughout. Okay, the amount of the slope or the degree with which it is decreasing or increasing, that may vary, but direction of slope will not change. Okay, so the following graph illustrate monotonic functions. So I hope the monotonic function is clear to you. What are monotonic functions? So monotonically increasing, as so I have already discussed this, that as the x variable increases, the y variable never decreases in the monotonic increasing function. And in the monotonically decreasing function, as the x variable increases, the y variable never increases, it always decreases. And in not monotonic function, as the x variable increases, the y variable sometimes decreases and sometimes increases, as you see in the third diagram. So the correlation coefficient that we discussed in the earlier topic, what we learn about the correlation coefficient, that the values of the coefficient will always range from +1 to -1. Only rarely will the correlation will have +1 or -1 and 0. Okay, your +1 correlation coefficient means perfect correlation and perfect positive correlation, and -1 correlation coefficient means perfect negative correlation, and 0 correlation coefficient means there is none. The two variables are not related to one another, or the variation in y cannot be explained by variation in x even 5%. Okay, so that is what it means by correlation coefficient equal to 0. And what other things that we learn about correlation coefficient, that it tells us about the strength of the correlation between the two. Correlation coefficient tell us about the strength of the correlation as well as the nature of the correlation. By nature means the correlation is positive, negative, and the strength means the magnitude of the correlation. Okay, magnitude, if it is closer to 0, if it is closer to 1 or -1, that is telling you the strength of the correlation, and the positive and negative sign is telling you about the nature of correlation. Okay, so a positive coefficient indicates direct relationship, a negative relation indicates inverse relationship. A correlation coefficient near 0 indicates no relationship. So the number indicates the degree of relationship and the sign indicates the type of relationship. Okay, so number indicates what? The strength or the degree of the relationship, and sign denotes the nature of the relationship, that when we are increasing x, then y is also increasing or it is decreasing, right? For example, if we are increasing the height of a person, its weight is also increasing, so that is a positive correlation, right? But if we are increasing the, suppose if we are increasing the if you are increasing the salary of a person, its happiness is increasing, then that is also a positive correlation. But if we are increasing the uh, consumption of cigarette per person, okay, then the health is decreasing, or the spending on the health is decreasing, or this saving is decreasing, or most of the earning is being spent on either medication or either on the cigarettes. So you will have negative correlation there. So your sixth point is a correlation coefficient indicates a relationship. After determining a correlation coefficient, you cannot infer that one variable causes something to happen to the other variable, right? So this correlation coefficient can also tell you that there is a relationship, but you cannot determine the cause that due to X, Y is happening, right? Due to X, Y is happening, you cannot infer that, or you cannot uh, uh, or you cannot estimate that due to the X, Y is happening. You can say that there is a relation that when X is increasing, Y is also increasing, but it is not meant that due to X your Y is happening. Okay, so that you cannot infer from the correlation. You can just infer that there is a relationship, but not causative, that a X is not a cause of Y. You cannot say that. So to symbolize Spearman's rank coefficient, we use rho symbol, okay, or R in the subtext. In the subscript, you have RHO. For the Spearman's rank, Spearman correlation coefficient, we use small r to denote, and for the Karl Pearson correlation coefficient, we use small r to indicate or denote correlation coefficient, right? And for the Spearman rank correlation coefficient, you either use rho or r, and in this subscript you will use rho, rho. Okay, so to determine the rho, first you have to list each set of scores in a column, rank the two sets of scores. Why two sets of scores? Because I have already told you that when we are talking about correlation, there will be two or more variable, right? Correlation means X is depending relation of X with Y. So there should be minimum of two variables. So when we are talking about two variables, so then you will have two columns. Then when you are talking about three variables, then you will have three columns, but there will be more than one variable in case of correlation. Okay, so rank the two sets of scores. We are assuming that you have two variables. Then place the approximate rank beside each score. Okay, add a column D and determine the difference in rank for each pairs of score. Sum of the D column should always be 0. We will see with the examples with the numerical what this slide is talking about. So square each number in D column and sum the values of this D column. Okay, so there will be a column named D. Okay, there will be a column named D. So you will sum that column uh, and another column D square. You will sum that also. Okay, calculate the correlation coefficient by substituting the values in the formula. What is the formula for Spearman rank correlation coefficient? We will see. Okay, so Charles Spearman correlation coefficient. This correlation measurement is also called rank correlation. This technique is applicable to determine the degree of correlation between two variables in case of ordinal data. What is ordinal data? We have already discussed about different scales used in statistics. One is your nominal scale, another one is ordinal scale, another one is interval scale, another one is ratio. Okay, in nominal scale, we use like January, February, or names on the x-axis. That is your nominal scale. In ordinal scale, we use like good, better, best, or rank. Good, better, best, or 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, or rank. So when we use this type of scale on the x-axis, then it is known as ordinal data or ordinal scale. When we use classes or interval on the x-axis, then it is then we are using interval scale. Okay. So when we have ordinal data, then we will use Spearman rank correlation coefficient. Ordinal data, you understand that we have either rank or like some other scale like good, better, best, something like this. That is ranking. That is giving the rank, not the absolute measurement. Okay, we can assign rank to, if we are not given the data in the rank form, we can convert the data into rank form to find out the Spearman correlation coefficient, right? We can assign rank to different values of a variable with ordinal data types. So suppose, yeah, so this here we have height, very small, small, large, tall, very tall, something like this. So we are giving rank. So for the, we can give rank either in the ascending order, descending order. Here we are giving rank 1 to very small, then to small, then to uh, large, then to tall, then very tall. Okay. Similarly, for the t-shirt, we are giving the ranks. For the extra small, we are using 11. Then as we are moving, as the size is increasing, we are also increasing the magnitude of the rank. Okay. So this is the formula for Charles Spearman correlation coefficient. So the rank correlation can be defined as RS, this is Spearman rank, is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma di square divided by n multiplied by n square minus 1. Okay. So here D is the column that you will see in the table that we will construct when we will solve the Spearman rank correlation coefficient. Okay. N is the number of the data set, sorry, number of the data points or observation in your data set. Okay. So D is the difference between rank of ith pair of two variables. Okay. You will understand it when we uh, when we do the numerical, but this is the formula for Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. Okay, so the Spearman's coefficient is often used as a statistical method to aid either providing, to, here it should be proving, to either proving or disproving a hypothesis. So let us see let us see with the examples. Now we will do some numericals and see how to calculate Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. So the hypothesis that, so here we have a question that there is a hypothesis, a new research is being carried out, and the researcher has set up a hypothesis or claiming that the depth of a river does not progressively increase with the width of the river. Okay, but the depth of the river does not progressively increase with the width of the river. Means जैसे जैसे आपकी नदी जितनी चौड़ी हो रही है, उस पर डिपेंड नहीं करेगा कि वो गहरी भी हो, तो उसमें कोई रिलेशन नहीं है. ओके, सो वी विल सी दैट. सो हाउ डू वी सी दैट? फर्स्टली हमको डाटा चाहिए उसकी विड्थ का और डेप्थ का, तो वो हमारे पास है. ओके, सो ए सैंपल ऑफ size 10 is collected to test the hypothesis using Spearman's correlation coefficient. Okay, so these are the 10 samples. Okay, there are 10 samples in our data set. So width in meters in one column, and the other variable, so one variable is what? One variable is width, another variable is depth, both are in meter. Okay, so एक वेरिएबल जहाँ जीरो वहाँ डेप्थ भी जीरो. ठीक है, जहाँ आपका विड्थ जीरो है वहाँ आपकी डेप्थ भी जीरो है. एंड इन अनदर प्लेस, जहाँ उन्होंने किसी दूसरे प्लेस पे उस नदी पे जहाँ विड्थ और उसकी डेप्थ नापी, तो वहाँ क्या था? विड्थ at that particular point was 50 and the depth at that point was 10 meter. Similarly, you can see that width at a particular place was 250 meter and the depth at that place was 59 meter. So we have this data, we have two variables. Okay, So this is absolute. This data is in absolute terms. To use the Spearman rank correlation coefficient, we have to convert these absolute values into ranks. Okay. So what we will do? Assign rank to each data point. It is customary to assign rank 1 to the largest data and 2 to the next, and so on. Okay. So here we are going in the descending order. We are giving rank 1 to the largest, and to the second largest we are giving the rank 2, and so on. In the both column, in both column, if we are if in one column we are choosing descending order for providing the rank, then in the other column, this this format should be also applied. Okay, so in this second column it should also be descending order according to which we are giving the rank. Okay, if in one column we are choosing the ascending column, then in another column ascending order is ascending order should be applied for giving the rank. Okay, so suppose, and note, there is a note that if there are two or more samples with the same value, the mean rank should be used. Okay, so suppose you now got two values having the same data points or same measurement, then what rank will you give to? Because there is a tie, so which rank will you give the two? You will give them the average of the ranks. So suppose data is 20, 25, 25, 25, 30. Okay, so the largest one here is 30. So this 30 is being given the rank 1. Then after the 30 there are 325. So there is a tie between three data points. Okay, because these three data points are same. So what will be the rank, assigned rank? It will be the 2, 3, 4, right? 2, 3, 4, and the smallest one will be given 5. But the final rank will not be 2, 3, 4. The final rank, because these are not different measurements, these are the same measurements, these are having the same magnitude, so you will have to give them equal rank. So what would be the rank? You will take the average of these three, like 2, 3, 4. What will be the average of these three rank? 2, 3, 4. What will be the average? Average will be 3. So you will give 3, 3, 3 to all the data points that are same. Okay, so in this data set you will not have a you will not have a observation that will have 2 and 4 as a rank. They will be skipped. Okay, they will be skipped. So the final rank will be 1, 3, 3, 5. Getting it? Getting it? Neeraj, Mosmi, Rahul? राहुल, पता लग रहा है? जैसे आपके पास अगर टाई हो गया, आपके पास डाटा सेट में आपके कुछ पॉइंट्स ऐसे हैं जिनके सेम वैल्यू है, जैसे यहाँ 25, 25, 25, तो वैसे तुमको रैंक कैसे दिया जाना था? जैसे कि इसका 1 है, 30 सबसे बड़ा 30 है आपका, तो उसको 1 दिया है, डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में चल रहे हैं हमें ना। फिर 25 को 2, 20, फिर एक और 25 है 3, फिर एक और 25 है उसको 4, फिर उससे छोटा है सबसे 20 उसको 5। लेकिन ये बराबर है, तो उनको ऐसे अलग अलग रैंक नहीं देंगे, इनको क्या देंगे? एवरेज लेंगे इन तीन का, 2, 3, 4 का, और जो उसका एवरेज आएगा 3, एंड दैट 3 विल बी असाइंड टू ऑल दिस 3 वैल्यूज, है ना। फिर उससे अगला रैंक, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि 3 है फिर उसके बाद अगला 4 आएगा, वो 4 और 2 इन्हीं के थे, वो स्किप हो चुके हैं, अगले का 5 आएगा। तो इस आपको जो डाटा सेट है, जो कॉलम है, सॉरी इस ये जो रो है, इसमें आपको 2 और 4 नहीं मिलेगा, दैट विल बी स्किप्ड। मौसमी, मौसमी, आर यू गेटिंग? एंड नीरज? Okay, so to the next slide. Now we will do the calculation. We have assigned the rank. So we have 10 samples. Width is given in this column. Here it should be depth. No. It is width, and it is also width, but rank. Width rank. Okay. This column is width, and the next column is width rank. The next column is depth, and the next column to that is depth rank. Okay, so how we are giving the rank? We are giving the first rank to the largest value, and as the value is decreasing, our rank is increasing. Okay, so 500 has the rank 1 because this is the largest value. Then 450 has the rank 2, then 400 has the rank 3, then the next largest is 350, it has the rank 4, and so on. And in the depth, the largest data point here is 104. So it is given the rank 1, and after that the largest is 96. It is given rank 2, then 85, it is given rank 3, 4, then so on. Okay, so we will introduce a column D. What is D? D is the difference between the rank of these two columns. Okay, so what is the difference between the rank of these two columns? 10 minus 10, 0. Again 9 minus 9, 0. 8 minus 8, 0. 7 minus 7, 0. 6 minus 5, 1. 5 minus 6 equal to minus 1. 4 minus 4, 0. 3 minus 3, 0. 2 minus 1, 1. 1 minus 2, minus 1. And we will introduce another column, that is d square. That is the square of these values, right? Squares of these values, and we will add up all these. We will add the values in d square column. So it is giving us, d square is giving us 4. So now we can calculate the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. What was the formula? If you remember, 1, this is the formula, 1 minus 6 sigma di square, this is d square. Okay, sigma di square divided n in brackets n square minus 1. So this is this. We will just substitute, but we have to substitute here only the value of d square, that is 4. And what is n? How many data points are there in this? How many data points or observations are there in our data set? 10 observations. Okay, so in place of n, we will put 10 because we have 10. So you will simply find out the value of Spearman rank correlation coefficient. Okay, so let us see with another example. Suppose we have ranks of 8 students of BSc in statistics and mathematics. On the basis of rank, we would like to know that to what extent the knowledge of the student in statistics and mathematics is related. Okay, what we want to know, that is there a relationship between the marks between mathematics and statistics, that to what degree or to what amount uh, uh, knowledge in statistics is related to the or affecting the knowledge in geology. Okay, so we will find out by using the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. So rank in statistics, in this case we are already provided with the ranks. Okay, so rank in statistics, there are 8 students. Okay, so one student is having rank 1 in statistics and rank 2 in mathematics. Similarly, another student is having rank 2 in statistics and rank 4 in mathematics. Another student is having rank 3 in statistics and rank 1 in mathematics. So we have the data set, and with 2 variables, marks in or rank in statistics and ranks in mathematics. So now we will, and this is the formula for finding out the Spearman rank correlation coefficient, but we have to find this di square. So to find out the DI score, we will have to construct a column and introduce a column named D and another column named D square. Okay, so let us denote the rank of the student in statistics by Rx and rank in mathematics by Ry. So these are two variable, X variable, Y variable. For the calculation of rank correlation coefficient, we have to find this di square. Only this thing we have to find. N is already given 8. There are 8 students. We have to only find the di square, which is obtained through the following table. So this is the table. Rank in statistics, as you can see, are listed or recorded in this column. Rank in mathematics corresponding to each student is uh, recorded in this column. Okay, now we have to introduce another column, that is D. D is Rx minus Ry. So 1 minus 2 is minus 1, 2 minus 4 is minus 2. Similarly, for the other observations. And another column, that is Di square. That is the squared value of the observation, or squared values of the squared values of these records in this column, Di column. Okay, so you have to do the square, and that will be the value of Di square. So 1 square is 1, minus 2 square is 4. So similarly, you get this column, Di square column. You find out the summation of all these values. So that will give you the summation of Di square. Okay, summation of Di square, that is 22. You just now put this Di square in the formula and you will get the rank. So rank is, correlation coefficient. So correlation coefficient is 0.74. So what was the classification of correlation coefficient? That if your correlation coefficient is between 0.7 and 1, or between minus 0.7 and minus 1, then the relationship is strong. The relationship is strong. But if your correlation coefficient is between 0.3 to 0.7 or minus 0.3 to minus 0.7, then the correlation is moderate. And if your values of correlation coefficient is between 0 to 3 or 0 to minus 3, okay, then you have weak correlation. So what type of correlation is this? In which correlation class this is falling? This is falling in strong correlation, because it is between 0.7 and 1, right? So they have a positive correlation as well as strong correlation, means there is a relationship. So the knowledge in statistics is uh, knowledge in statistics is also affecting the knowledge in mathematics, or there is a relationship between the two. The more a person is knowledgeable in statistics, it is highly likely that he is also knowledgeable in mathematics. Okay, now in case when we have three variables, then how do we do it? Okay, in this example we have three variables. So rank in computer is given, rank in physics is given, rank in statistics is given. So we have three variables. So we have to now denote it like this: R12S, R23S, R13S. S is for Spearman's rank. Okay, and 1, 2 is correlation between 1 and 2. 1, if we give computer as 1 and rank in physics as 2, then it is R12S is the rank correlation coefficient between the rank of computer and physics. Okay, then rank 2, 3 is correlation between physics and statistics, and 1, 3 is between correlation between the rank of computer and statistics. Then let R1, R2, and R3 be the rank of students in computer, physics, and statistics respectively. So rank in computer is given, rank in physics is given. So rank in computer is denoted by R1, rank in physics is denoted by R2, and rank in statistics is denoted by R3. Okay, so now we have to find out the difference column, the D column for the combin the D column for the difference between the rank of the combination that we will make. That is R1 minus R2, R1 minus R3, R2 minus R3. Okay, so this is R1 minus R2, R2 minus R3, and R1 minus R3. So we will find out their difference, and we will correspondingly and we will correspondingly and uh, wait a minute. And we will correspondingly uh, also introduce the squared column of this difference. Okay, the square difference column for all the three combinations. Okay, so we will find out their rank separately, the correlation between computer and physics, computer and statistics, and physics and statistics. Okay, so that's how you are going to do it. So merits and demerits of rank correlation coefficient. Merits of rank correlation coefficients are that Spearman's rank correlation coefficient can be interpreted in same way as the Karl Pearson correlation coefficient. That we can say that if correlation coefficient is between 0.7 to 0.7 to 1, it is strong correlation, and if it is positive, if it is a positive sign, the relationship between them is positive. If it has a negative sign, the relationship between them is negative. Means when one variable is increasing, the another variable is decreasing. So the interpretation would be the same as that of Karl Pearson correlation coefficient. It is easy to use, it is easy to understand and easy to calculate. Right? We saw it was very easy. Only one thing you have to find out, that is di square, difference between the two ranks, corresponding ranks, their summation, that we have to find out from the table, and just put that in the formula and you will get the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. If you want to see the association between qualitative characteristics, rank correlation coefficient is the only formula, right? So when we have qualitative characteristics like ratings to a customer service, or other qualitative data, when we have qualitative data and we want to see the relationship, then only this method can be used. Then we cannot use uh, Karl Pearson correlation coefficient method. Rank correlation coefficient is the non-parametric version of Karl Pearson product moment correlation coefficient, and it does not require the assumptions of normality of the population from which the same observations are taken, whereas your Karl Pearson correlation coefficient assume the make the assumption of normality, that data is normally distributed. Okay, whereas in this we do not have to make that assumption. And what are the demerits of rank correlation coefficient? Product moment correlation coefficient can be calculated for bivariate frequency distribution, but rank correlation coefficient cannot be calculated. What is product moment correlation coefficient? It is another name for Karl Pearson correlation coefficient. Okay, product moment correlation coefficient is the another name for Karl Pearson correlation coefficient. Okay, so it can be calculated for bivariate frequency distribution, but rank correlation cannot be calculated for frequency distribution. So if n is greater than 30, this formula is time consuming, right? So if n is greater than 30, this formula is time consuming. These are the demerits. So now one case is left. How will you do the calculation when there are ties between the two ranks in the same column, right? When two observations in a variable do have same value, then they will have the same rank. How will we calculate that? Although we have already touched upon that, but we will see more clearly in this example. So when there is a repetition of rank, a correlation factor m under root m multiply m minus 1 square divided by 12 is added to sigma d square in the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient formula. where m is the number of times a rank is repeated. Okay, it is very important to know that this correlation factor is added for every repetition of rank in both characters. In case of tied or repeated rank experiments, the rank correlation coefficient formula is this one. Okay, this is the formula when you have observations in which ranks are tied. So let us clear this with an example. So we have given two variables. One variable is expenditure on advertisement, another variable is profit. Okay, so we are given the data. So x is what? X is expenditure on advertisement. So x is representing expenditure on advertisement. We have given the rank. So the largest one is given the 1 rank, then the second largest is given the rank 2, then the third largest is given the rank 3, then the fourth largest is given the rank 4, then the fifth largest. So there are two fifth largest because 14 is coming. So actually there are three. So this 14 is coming 3 times in this column, right? So how would we do that? So 114 would be 5, 114 would be 6, another 14 would be 7, would have been given these ranks, right? Because we up to 15 we have rank 4. Okay, up to 15 we have rank 4. So when we go further down 14, the next rank would have been 5, but there is another 14, so next another rank would have been 6, then another third 14, so the rank would have been 7. So the average of 5 6 7 is 6. Okay, the average of 5 6 7 is 6. So we are giving the rank 6 to all these repeated observations 14 14 14. Okay, so rank 5 and 7 you will not see in this column because they are skipped. Similarly, variable measurements or the data for the variable y is given here. What is variable y? It is profit. So rank of y will be assigned in the next column. Okay, rank of y. So the largest value will be given rank 1, and the second largest will be given value 2, and the third largest will be given value 3. But there, the second largest, that is 25, is 25, but 25 is being repeated 2 times. So normally the rank would have been what? This 25 would have the rank 2, and this 25 would have the rank 3. But because as there is a tie, we have to do what? We have to take the average 2 and 3, average between 2 and 3, it will give 2.5. Okay, so we are now skipping 2 and 3. You will not see rank 2 and 3 in this column. Okay, after this the procedure is the same as the previous one. Okay, you will find out the difference between the corresponding ranks, and you will introduce another column, that is d square. Okay, 0 square is 0, 1.5 square is 2.25, and you will calculate or you will add up all these observation in this du square. Okay, formula is slightly modified from the normal correlation coefficient. We have this m multiply m square minus 1 divided by 12, and m is the number of times there is a repetition of a particular value, that is m. So we will see. So this modification term is going to be like this: 3 square minus 1 by 12 plus 2 square minus 1 by 12. Why there is going to be 3? Because in this column you can see 14 is repeated 3 times. 14 is repeated 3 times. So for this column we are introducing this modification factor, and in another column we have tie between two terms. Okay, 2.5, 2.5. So this 2.5 is being repeated two times. So for that, we are adding another modification, uh, another term, right? Having m equal to 2. Why? Because there are only two times the repetition. Getting a point? So this is the modification. Okay, or it is known as correction factor. Okay, so this is the correction factor. All other formula remains the same. We have this d square, summation of d square from this column. From this column we have summation of d square, and this correction factor we have calculated from here. You just put these values in the you will just put the values in the formula. It will look like this, right? You calculate simply, and it is giving you correlation coefficient of minus 0.024. So very weak correlation, almost equal to zero. So there is negligible or almost equal to zero correlation coefficient, and whatever the correlation is between them, it is also negative. So that's it for today. Getting my point? Okay then.